Is there a Truckers United guy?
Well, good
I'm
comment,
here.
Bobby.
How's everybody doing today? I'm trying to be respectful and not interrupt. How
No,
you
you're good,
doing,
bro.
man?
What's up?
Nice to meet you, Bobby.
You too, sir.
So yeah, so my name is Vince with Truckers Unite Now. 5 days ago, I just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck as a lease owner operator. I've been trucking for 11 years, 1.3 safe miles. I love this industry. Everything, the family I've created, everything I've built has been from the American economy, born and raised here. I love this country. I love it for legal immigrants. And all I want to do is bring more financial currency to the American truck driver and their families. Us 3 million strong are the backbone of this country. We are suffering tremendously, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and it's absolutely unheard of to do this in any other industry. There's a minimum wage for every other industry other than the trucking industry. I'm learning so much. So like the other gentleman was saying, I went to the White House, just me, myself, and I. It cost me, I didn't work for 4 days. I just kind of got to the point like, why am I running this truck, working 80, 90 hours a week, sacrificing everything for myself and my family to better my life and my family's life? Why am I doing this if I'm not getting ahead? If I'm not stacking money, why am I running this business?
Because
You know what I'm
unfortunately, I
saying?
think
It's just,
we're just used to it, and you know what I mean. That's all we know is trucking. So unfortunately, like
yes.
we're just stuck in this like hamster wheel. And when the economy's bad and the market's not there, we just keep on like going and going and hoping that it's gonna turn around. Unfortunately, I think that's.
Yes. No, I agree. Well, I've learned a lot in the last 4 days. I've met some amazing people, some other advocates for truck drivers, and I'm learning that this goes so much deeper than you guys think. I mean, there's a psychological way of getting in our minds to make us think we're not united so that they can make a lot of money. Everybody and their brother is in our pockets, right? Just decade.
Oh, you broke up there, buddy.
Sorry about that. Yeah, decade after decade, folks have found clever ways of taking money out of our pockets, and this is where we're at. This is the result of it. And I've learned. Long story short, I've learned we all have to be held accountable. I mean, let's look in the mirror. Let's look at ourselves first. Let's get involved and let's shake this whole thing up, man. Let's tell the American people what's going on. Let's get support. Let's make trucking truly great again.
So
That's
what do you
the goal.
think is going on?
Yeah, good question, Bobby. Sir, may I ask, who do you have a constructive business plan, a business model that's 3, 6 months, a year out? And if so, who wrote said plan? And what education do you have, sir?
So that's a really broad question to answer. 3, 6, 9 months out, so much changes not only in the American economy but with the entire world, based off who's off in office at the time, based off what laws are being passed or not passed. So to trucking is very, very unique. Would you agree with that? Extremely unique.
I don't know.
So
I don't have very much experience in this business. Happy will attest to that. But
okay.
at the end of the day, fundamentally, you've got to have, call a business plan, a model. You got to have calls to action. Okay. And said plan has to be flexible enough to sit back and say, well, this is going to change, that's going to change. I'm not being narcissistic, but
Yes.
it doesn't sound like you've got a solid business model that you prepared to put out there. You sound more, sir, like a politician.
Okay, well, I'm confused though, because what do you think? Okay, because I haven't really seen your I mean, I've seen like the video in Washington, whatever. Oh, I just broke my shit. But I haven't really like seen all your content. So, what do you think is the issues in trucking right now that you're trying to like fight to get fixed?
The main issues in trucking, I believe, is so first thing would be broker transparency, right?
Okay.
So if you look in the green book, the FMCSA book that all of us should be reading, if you're a professional driver, that should be step one. And I will be honest and transparent myself. I've been doing this 11 years, and I just 5 days ago picked up the book and started reading it. So there's a code 371.3 in the book that gives us broker transparency. But there's an organization called the TIA. All they do is lobby for brokers. Brokers are genius. I mean, they have the well thought business plan. They hire lobbyists to fight in Washington, to fight federally, to fight stateside, and they get laws passed that go against the owner operator, the lease owner operator. The carriers are hiring foreigners. They're putting things out there that, like, we have a driver shortage. We don't have a driver shortage at all.
I agree with
The
that.
carriers and the TIA started that whole thing to get it in Americans' minds. Oh yeah, because if you say something enough times, it'll become true for everybody. As Americans, we're parrots, and I'm guilty of it too, brother. I'm guilty of being a parrot. See something, don't actually do the research, and then I tell all my friends. And I stopped doing that 5 days ago. That's what I'm encouraging truck drivers to do. Let's stop being parrots. Let's get educated. Let's do the research. Let's look in the mirror, be accountable, and let's make trucking great again. The only way we're going to fix it is
But how
we
will
have to
how will
fix it.
broker transparency? Just out of curiosity, how do you think broker transparency will fix trucking? I agree with the driver shortage. I agree with a lot of the stuff you said, but the broker transparency, like how, like realistically, do you think that would actually?
So I'm all over the board. Yeah. So I didn't finish your question. My apologies. So the 371.3 code, we already have in place a law that gives us broker transparency. But what happens is when you sign your carrier packet, those
give it
carrier
up.
packets, what's that?
You
The
give it up.
TIA has,
Yeah.
exactly. You give up, you sign away your right. Just like in a courtroom, if you
Well, no, I
sign
get about
away
saying,
your
but like,
constitutional
but what
rights.
about broker transparency? Say it's a perfect world, right? And then you could get every single transparency on every single load you do from every single broker. Like, how is that going to fix trucking or help trucking at all? Period.
I'll give you an example.
Uh-huh.
So let's say I'm getting a load. Let's say I'm trying to book a load, or I see something on a load board that says Los Angeles to New York for, I don't know, $8,000, right? Right now, I think it's going for anywhere from 5 to 6, and that's on a good day, right? But let's say 8,000-9,000 is put out there, and I'm like, wow, that's a great load. I call on it, right? And I'm like, okay, where's my transparency, Mr. Broker? And the broker shows me proof that they're making 20,000 on that load, right?
Mhm.
There's no way I'm going to give them 55%
But why?
of a load that I spend 90% of my life with, and I'm suffering.
But you just
I'm
said
away
if
from my
loads are going from
family.
5 to 6, they posted it for 8. Who gives it? Who cares if they got it for 100,000? If you're still getting the rate that you want to take.
Because a broker, in my opinion, that's doing an hour or 2 hours on that load should not get 55% of a rate that the driver spends their entire
Okay,
life
so
with
so
and
you got a customer,
sacrifices everything
just
for.
just to use round numbers. So now you got a customer, right? That's giving a broker. Let's just say, like you said, LA to New York, right? Just say we got 2 same lanes, right? One broker got a good customer, which gave him $10,000 for the load. Then a different broker is posting the same lane from a different customer that doesn't have that kind of money, and he only got like 5 or 6 grand. So just because somebody else got a good customer, why should they pay you more if they have more money in it, if they're already going to pay you above market?
Because, well, that's where you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong, and that's where I'm trying to change things for drivers. If drivers are going to take it for that rate, that's what you're going to get. If you want to keep having a terrible life, the choice is yours. You are correct. That's where I'm saying self-accountability is something that I feel like drivers really don't do. We're fighting each other tooth and nail for pennies, and brokers are like, look at these guys taking this for near nothing. They're literally fighting over 10% of what the load is actually worth, and they're the ones that are taking the sacrifice to get that load done. American truck drivers are the backbone. I'm sorry, brokers are not. Okay, we are the ones that spend 90. I'm not talking badly about brokers. If I come off on like that, I apologize. There's great brokers out there. 30% of the brokers that I'm dedicated to are wonderful people. They're making 10, 15% off the load. That's great. I want all of us to win. Here's my thing. And I think a lot of truckers would agree with this. I can't speak for anybody but myself, but I want all of us to win. I just want it to be a fair shake. The American truck driver is the one that spends 90% of their time with that load. On average, we die at about 62 years old. This job is 7 times more dangerous than law enforcement. So think about that for a second. We are dying at 7 times faster than police officers. We're in the top 10 most dangerous jobs. So it's called hazard pay. If you look at underwater welders, they're
Well, I mean,
making three, four
I
hundred
wouldn't
dollars an
consider
hour.
trucking
Why is
hazard
that?
pay. I mean, but then you got to break it down. Then you got to
Well,
look at the
yeah,
unhealthiness, just the way truck drivers eat. They eat at truck stop. A lot of them, don't take time to like make their own food.
yes,
Okay, so I mean, there's a lot of different considerations into that. But I mean, I wouldn't go as
you're
far as
not wrong.
saying
Yeah.
hazard pay for truckers. I mean, maybe if you start
Okay.
getting into like oversized, specialized, like like crazy, like freight that I could, you know what I mean? But like normal, like dry van reefers, flatbeds, I don't consider it a
Yes.
hazard pay. And I think we should be worried about a lot bigger stuff than broker transparency. I mean, if you want to start getting if you want to get into like, like the driver shortage bullshit they've been feeding us, if you want to get into these visa CDLs that are crashing on our rates, if you want to get into that kind of stuff, yeah, I'm with that stuff. But I just don't think
Yes,
broker
sir.
transparency should be on top of the list of how to fix trucking, in my opinion.
Okay, well, how about cabotage? How do you feel about cabotage with Mexican drivers?
Well,
Do you
both
know about
Mexican
that
and Canadian, right? I mean, obviously
or no?
they shouldn't be doing it, and there should be a crackdown on it.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. But I mean,
that's right. I can't do it as an American citizen.
but I
Yeah.
mean, like
Go
realistically,
ahead,
I think
sorry.
cabotage is like a very small percentage of loads that are taken away from us. Like like I said, in my opinion, right now, the most
Okay.
important things is the economy and these CDLs that they give out to all these people. They need to take back, and they need to create a driver
Yeah,
shortage.
so
They need to keep it at a driver shortage in order for the rates to get better and stay better.
yes.
Well, what they
So
all
no
also want
CDLs
is
for
to
foreign
put
truck
their,
drivers.
what they want to do is also push their autonomous agenda. And Bobby and I have had amazing conversation on cabotage. And being a Canadian,
Okay.
I've come right out and said it happens, haven't I, Bobby?
Yeah, we definitely talked about cabotage quite a bit, and
Yeah.
we also did mention that it is a small, it's not, there is like
Exactly.
people doing it, but it's not like they're not out here like like crazy amounts, because that is, if you get caught for that, you're gonna get in big trouble, So
Could you explain that?
Right.
Could you explain what that is?
Cabotage,
Yep.
it's when they come in from like Mexico or Canada, then they're not supposed to take anything but a load only going back to their country, but they stay in the
Okay.
country and then they start picking up and doing deliveries within the continental U.S.
Cool.
So not a lot of people do it, but like I'm sure there is, a small percentage that want to take chances and do it, which obviously they 100% should get in trouble for it. But I think there's a lot more bigger issues. Like there are big chunks of, if we actually fix it, it will help out the trucking industry.
Yes, I agree. That's what I'm trying to maneuver through right now. There's so many issues, so I'm trying to get more focused on, 2 or 3 bullet points for myself in my channel that I can really work on. Every single day as I drive, Bobby, I am doing lives. I'm talking to other drivers. I just got on YouTube. When I get home next week, I'm grabbing another phone and I'm going to start doing lives on both YouTube and TikTok, because I've noticed half of our population, half of the US anyway, is on TikTok, half is on YouTube.
Do you have a laptop or no?
I do.
Okay,
Yes.
then you could just hook it up to like, for example, right now I'm doing a TikTok live and YouTube at the same time, so you don't have to do it from 2 phones.
Okay.
If you want to
Awesome.
DM me, I can send you some info on that to kind of guide you through how to hook that up, so save you some time and stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, brother, because I'm trying to figure it all out. The last
Yeah, I
5
know,
days
trust
I've
me.
been ordering
a lot
all
of
this
YouTube
stuff.
hours,
and-
bro. Is trying to look all this shit up. I'm 41, bro.
People don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, I've seen you around, man. So thanks for everything you do. I've seen you here and there. I just got involved about 5 days ago, and I'm trying to get this out there. For example, like, non-domicile CDLs, like definitely if you're a foreigner, a legal foreigner should not be able to get a CDL. I mean, if you look at a pew-pew, think about a foreigner coming over here getting a pew-pew, right? That sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
With like 30 freedom seeds. That's insane, right? Like, who in their right mind would give something like that to an illegal citizen? So I ask you, why would you allow them inside of an 80,000 pound missile? You know what I mean? Stricter schools, stricter, longer. Like, in my opinion, we need somebody 5-10 years or more with experience teaching the new guys. When I first got my license 11 years ago, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to be honest to show you guys how bad this is. When I first went to a company and started driving, I did not know how to hook up a truck to a trailer. And I had a legal, valid CDL. How crazy is that?
Well, I mean, everybody has to start from somewhere, and I agree with you, man. I think if you're not a U.S. citizen, you should at least have a green card, and then you have to pass
Yes.
everything in English in order to get your CDL. I think
Agreed,
like
Bobby.
there shouldn't be no
Yes.
like tests in
Yes.
other languages or interpreters, translators, whatever you want to put it. I mean, I think you definitely should have at least a green card, and you should definitely pass everything you need to be, pass to get your CDL in English, including CDL schools should be looking at this too as well. Like if they see somebody can't communicate, they should be being held responsible for passing them and giving them ability to get licenses.
Yes.
So I really think if we start
Definitely.
cracking down on this, and I think if they start backtracking on these CDLs, I really think that it's going to help it out, at least in the short term, for the freight market to turn around. Obviously, the economy is getting a little bit better slowly. Once the economy kicks in, I think we should be good. I think my wife just mentioned the other day, for
Right.
some reason, I thought we're in the fourth quarter already, but obviously we're not. So we'll see what happens in the fourth quarter. Hopefully the fourth quarter is good. And then we'll just go from there, dude. But I think the more people, like all of us start talking about it on YouTube and TikTok, and hopefully something happens,
Yes, unity, man. We're all family here. So that's my other objective, is to try to get us to stop fighting. And it's like, again, we're not going to agree on everything, right? Like you and I don't have to agree on everything, but at the very minimum, we should try to figure out a path together forward.
Yeah, or have
Even if
civil
we're not getting
conversations
everything
about
we
it. We don't agree about the broker transparency, but we're not sitting here yelling and arguing about it. We can just both voice our opinions.
Exactly.
And then just move
Exactly.
on. And no harm, no foul. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Rob, do you have anything else for me, brother? Because I got to get going. Roger.
No, that's it, man. Thanks
You
for
have anything
calling in,
else
brother.
for me?
Okay, let's go.